I never did the do-rag. People, Negroes, white folk, Hispanics,
He said everybody.
Lottie Dottie, and everybody. Good morning.
Everybody.
Good morning to all y'all. Leroy has, on StreamYard, you have the ability to look in the black room when people that are going to be on stage are showing up. Leroy immediately laughed coming in the door. This is the kind of friends I have. I don't have if you don't have thick skin being in relationship with my friends, you will pull your eyelids over your head. Like
Uh,
you won't you won't make it.
Man, my coach, love her to death, Coach Marcy Ray. She does a daily post talking about health and wellness and everything like
Okay.
that. And so her post this morning was about about toxic friendships and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
And she did a great thing. She did a thing about the positive aspects of having people in your life and how that you know uh, eliminates stress and takes you kind of keeps you going and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then she gave the negative side of it of having having those kind of people in your life. So you try to say I'm a toxic person, bro?
Okay. I am. I will neither confirm nor deny.
said, said I'm one of them toxic people she was talking about this morning.
Raven Matthews, what's happening, man? Yeah. My co-host, my brother, he's toxic, definitely toxic. Um,
That is
we
quite
want to say good morning to everybody. Everybody, do me a favor and um, tag a brother. Let everybody know we're here. If you're on my regular pages, tag someone. Let them know that you're here. Let them know that the Grown Man Podcast is on the air. And if you're looking for a conversation that is cotton candy conversation, that is the podcast down the street.
down yonder.
That's down yonder.
That down yonder.
There's enough cotton candy happening.
Yeah.
We support them too, right? Like everybody's got their niche, everybody's got their thing. I ain't mad at them. Let them do their thing. But here, when you sit down on the couch here, have you guys noticed that our setup here, there's a couch underneath? I wonder whether or not you guys noticed there's a couch underneath. There's a couch so that we expect that when you come in here, you sit on the couch, you let everybody, and you sit down, and you act like you got some sense, right? And you bring a level of conversation to this. It's almost like it's almost like a Raymond. It's almost like a family reunion. Everybody's sitting in the living room, chopping it up, busting it up, finding about old times. Hey, how you been? Everything been good? How's Sammy? I don't know who Sammy is. That's the first thing came to my mind. How's Sammy? Right? Sammy's good. Is Sammy out of jail? Yeah, Sammy's out of jail. He's been out of jail for probably about 6 months. How's he doing? He probably going back. So those are the conversations that we have here on the Grown Man Podcast.
Yeah, he probably going back.
He's probably going back. Yeah, he probably going back. Um, Go ahead, man.
Well, see, here's the answer to that when they say he probably going. Well, you need to connect him with me so we can get him in remand. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes. Connecting with Reman. Reman. What do we do here? I'm glad you asked. We help
Yeah,
black
yeah,
men
yeah.
interrupt patterns, disrupt behaviors, break the vicious cycles of missed potential, so that they can master. It's about mastery here. It's not about mediocrity here. It's about mastery. Master their lives, leadership, and legacy.
Mm.
We help to transform the character of individual Black men and the institutions that impact them. In fact, over these last couple of weeks, we've been talking about the institutions part. That not so much the individual Black man stuff, but the institutional stuff. And it's been absolutely phenomenal to spend time with Leroy. Hey, Leroy,
Yes, sir.
I'm a little sad today. Can I talk about my sadness, man? I'm a little
Yes.
sad today
What's
because
going
usually when we turn on ESPN or we turn on, there's such a robust conversation about so many teams,
on? Mm-hmm.
right? Now, it's still a robust conversation, but the conversation is only about 4 teams.
Yep.
4 teams and Josh Allen. So they were on Josh Allen today about whether or not he's been showing up in the way that he really should be showing up. And so I miss talking about a lot of teams and what happened over the course of the weekend. I know that you are happy that we're still talking about the Baltimore Ravens. But I don't really want to have a conversation about the Baltimore Ravens. I want to talk about the Philadelphia Falcons today. So if those of you that have recognized there's a new team in the NFL, there's a new team in
his own team.
there's a new team in the NFL, the Philadelphia Falcons. I am a fan of the Philadelphia Falcons. And if you guys don't know who that is, just hit me a little later. It's a new franchise. It's a new franchise that I have
to the process of nothing. It just appeared. We just good. Hey, we here.
It's a new franchise. Leroy's hating. It's a new franchise, and it's sometimes you got to help them in the startup. So I'm asking all of you to assist me. Those of you that know the words of prayer, the words of prayer, pray for the Philadelphia Falcons, a new franchise in the NFL. And that's why if you ever ask me, like I support the Atlanta Falcons, I support the Philadelphia Eagles. If you ever ask me, hey, Donald, if they ever play, who do you support? I support the Philadelphia Eagles. Never forget where you come from. I support the Philadelphia Eagles. But I have 2 teams this year. And if you don't like it, forget you. I don't care whether you don't like the fact that I have what's up, Dwight? Good to see you, man. Yeah, Dwight, come in here with some act right, man. Because we on 10 today. We've already, Leroy came in and laughing at me. So I'm already offended. Before the show begins, I'm already offended and angry at the way Leroy is treating me on a Tuesday morning. What is Tuesday? Is it Terrific Tuesday? Is it what is Tuesday, Leroy?
No, it's Talk to Me Tuesday. It's Tell the Truth Tuesday.
Tell the people the truth then. Tell the people the truth about how you came in hot this morning. 10 o'clock in the morning.
Dude, all I said was you looked like you had on one of those. What did I call it? I didn't even
do-rag. We called it a do-rag.
And I forgot. I said you looked like you had a do-rag on. That's all I said. Cause you got your Reman hat backwards, so nobody can see the icon on it. So they don't even know. They can't. I don't know if you got the. I don't know if you're wearing the
I'm not. I'm wearing my heavily meditated hoodie today.
Okay. Yeah, so you're not wearing the hoodie, so they can't see that, but they at least could see the hat with the icon on it. I mean,
I am a thug. I am a thug. I'm a thug, and this is how thugs show up.
Hey, you a thug? Let me see that thug life on your chest. like Pac used to say it had.
Yeah, I'm throwing up signs and everything. I'm a thug, and Yes, sir.
Real quick. No, real quick. Do you know what? Did you ever hear what the meaning was with Thug Life? What that definition
Uh,
stood for?
yes. Uh,
Because it was named after the movie that they did.
something. Yeah, yeah. I have heard it. I don't
Yeah,
remember what the acronym
the hate
stands.
they give, the
The
hate
hate
they
they
give.
give.
Yeah,
In
the
that
hate
movie,
they
he
give.
explained
Yeah,
something
he explained what
everywhere.
it meant. Yeah,
F
yeah, it was
everywhere.
deep. Yeah, it was deep though. The hate they give, impact. Was it the hate they give? Well, yeah, the hate.
The hate you give
Yeah, the hate you give
leave.
leaves infants, families empty or something like that. I can't remember.
I thought it was leaves something F everywhere.
Yeah,
F.
it does. I was just using another word
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah. Listen. I need y'all to throw
It
tomatoes
does.
at Leroy. I
It
can't even get him to
it's
announce
F
what the actual
everybody.
acronym
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it's the I think the F and E is everybody. So
Yeah.
you everyone, not everybody, everyone. That's what the thug life stood for. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Listen, y'all. Make sure it's a bunch of people in here today. We have great news. Um, that we are in the process of really scaling the business, right? And bringing people on the team every single day that can help us get where we're supposed to go. I have a meeting right after this with a family member that I am asking to be my assistant. Let me tell you what that does. I learned this, Leroy. This is for you too, man, when you get married, right? I learned from my assistant, I mean from my spiritual father, that the best possible candidates to be your assistant are people that are ugly, women that are ugly, women that you no, women that are ugly, or family members. So I want my family. You know what, man? And I'm gonna turn it over to you in about 2 minutes, Leroy, so that we can find out what you got for us today. Hey, listen, you want your folks to be able to participate in the conversation. Leroy always got something crazy to ask you, and we gonna add. We asked yesterday who you expect to be in the Super Bowl. We've talked about the leading ladies, actresses. We've talked about the best actors in a leading role. He always has something phenomenal to be able to share. I'm interested, and I never know what it's going to be, right? So I'm interested in what's going to happen. But I'm trying to leave legacy, and I want to make sure my family is involved at a very high degree. So I think I'll be talking with a family member today. You guys will see an announcement shortly in the next couple of weeks or so. But yeah, I'm just uber excited about this. Leroy, uh, how do you feel about working with family, man? Because you work with family. You work with your sister, right? Your mom, like you work with family. How's that feel of that
No, no, it works out. It works out great for us. Um, it's that's not the case in
for
every
everybody, right? Yeah,
for everybody. My family, we're a little different because we've always gotten along. And I say it like that. We've always gotten along. It's always been about about us, and my mom has always been adamant about us having a core. But that's how she that's how ever since we were kids. It's always been it was me, it was my mom, my older sister Larissa, me, my younger sister Tucson, and mom, and it was us against the world pretty much. you know
wow,
and so now that our family expanded to my nieces and my nephew, um they have that same. My sisters have done just a phenomenal job of raising my nieces and my nephew. Man, I couldn't be more proud of them
Yeah.
and the lives that they lead today, man. It's just, and I try to tell my sisters all the time. They did an absolute great job, and what they do, and to see my nieces and my nephews just flourishing and being good people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? At the end of the day, being good people. So, um, working with family can be a good thing, but it can also, you know, um, it can be difficult too, because if you get into a situation where they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you know, it can make it hard. So, um, I try to look at it from both perspectives. I'm blessed to have a family that where we work well together, and
Yes,
and,
sir.
and we understand what we each of our roles are, what we need to do, and we have that strong, all of us have that strong work ethic that we have in order to be able to do what we need to do. It can be frustrating too. I ain't gonna lie to that all the time. You know,
Okay.
it,
Okay.
it can definitely be frustrating at times too. It's not perfect. Anybody that tells you that it's perfect working family, they lying to you. You know, um, so you take that, but I can't. I would not say that it's anything that's not just horrible or anything like that. Absolutely not. No. But because you always you don't agree on everything. That's just
Yes,
like
sir.
you and our family. We don't agree on everything. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
so all of those things, it's it's
Yes,
it's,
sir.
it's that way. You know.
Can I tell you that I absolutely love the fact that we don't agree on everything, because I get
Right,
a chance to
absolutely.
learn. Like I
You're
get a
not
chance
supposed
to
to.
see another
Right.
perspective. Yeah, yeah. So I'm always happy when we get to arguing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Crystal
Mhm.
Fendi Styles Clark, where you been? Where you been? You been you've been missing, sis. Good morning. It's a great day today. It is a great day today. But when you are missing, we want to know where you've been. We all up in your business. Yes, we all up in your business because we talk about you every day. Whether you now you ain't present to defend yourself, so we talk about you, uh, and how you change the rules on every game we play and all of that. So you're at least here to defend yourself today. So we will say good morning, sit on the couch like a family member, and let's talk about people like we do, and let's deal with all of the latest stuff. Leroy, what's on the table today, man? What we talking about?
Well, this is for the hip hop heads, and you gotta be a hip hop head to know this one,
The
right?
hip hop head. Okay.
Because I was thinking about this yesterday, and I love it. Um, but I need to know which one, and y'all may have to go listen to them because they might not know 'em. But I need to know which song has the hardest beat of all times in hip hop.
Ooh.
I'm only giving you two. Only giving you
Ooh.
these two. So the first one is Jay Z's "You Don't Know."
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is, or with the verses. This is the verses. The second one is Eric B. and Rakim's "I Ain't No Joke." You gotta know hip hop in order to be able to know these two songs. And we already know we taking your black card because you ain't probably heard neither one of them. Well, I ain't no joke. What is that? What is that?
let me. I know what to do though. I know how to listen to them real quick. I know how to do that. Let me see. Let's see, Eric B and Rakim. Let's see. Look. Crystal says, "Hold up. How do I put my camera on?"
Yeah, we gotta have Crystal on one day, bro.
Bro.
We gotta
It's
have
gonna
her
be a
on.
whole thing.
I know, right?
It's gonna be a whole thing with her. Let's see. I need y'all because Crystal's a hip hop head. She a hip hop head.
Is
So
she? Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
she's a promoter, man, right? So she does these events, and this is her area. So I'm gonna let her
Okay.
shine, be great.
Okay.
Because you are absolutely right. I have no idea. I'll probably as soon as I hear it, I'll
Yeah.
probably
I'm sure you have. Yeah, you probably heard both of them. I'm
yeah.
sure. You just don't know necessarily the titles of them, but yeah.
Crystal Fendi Styles Clark, is today your birthday?
What?
It's today your
What?
birthday.
Happy birthday!
Leroy, let Crystal, you have not gotten this anywhere. Happy
Oh,
birthday
he doing it.
to you.
Lord
Leroy,
have
you can
mercy.
pick up with me anytime. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Crystal Fendi Styles Clark. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my friend. Leroy, why didn't you join in, man?
Because that ain't the version I'm doing. That ain't the version I'm doing. I got it. You got some pipes. Crystal, he just wanted to show off. That's all he wanted to do. He wanted to show that he got a little rhythm. That's all he wanted to do. Show that off. He just wanted to show that off. Because I'm gonna give you the Stevie Wonder version. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday
Birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Yeah. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday, sis. Yo, happy birthday to you. This is
Yes,
a
yes,
national
yes.
holiday. Look, 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 look.
Absolutely.
Look. She said you better sing. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
I
Yeah.
pray for real, for real. I pray that God's best be yours.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
seriously, God's best be yours. You know,
But you 25, Crystal?
that's right. Ask her the cardinal sin. That's the cardinal sin. No one is supposed to ask that question. But on the Grown Man Podcast, this is what we do. We want to know how old Crystal Fendi Styles Clark is. If y'all want to know how old Crystal Fendi Styles Clark is, she said, I'm over here crying, laughing. Listen, if y'all want to know what birthday this is, if anybody wants to guess, what birthday this is for Crystal, then put a number out there. Let's offend, because that's what we do. That's what we do too, and because that's people, sisters in particular. Like, oh, so I look like that, right? So I look old like that, or I ain't no young girl. We don't know. So, Crystal, how old, how young? What's the number? Leroy is the speed limit, double nickels. I'm approaching the speed limit, double nickels. Leroy is older than all of us. Leroy's social security number is 001.
Yo, Yo, why did I get the information or for AARP?
AARP, bro.
I said
Yo,
I'm officially old. And I think they said you get it at 50, but I hadn't signed up at 50 or whatever. But they still keep sending it to you. Like,
they
nah,
keep
we ain't forgot about you.
we
You
forgot.
still old.
Crystal says, "See, now you going left. You were doing so good. We just want to know. We just want to know. You are such a supporter, and while we're clowning, here
Crystal,
you are.
go get your free meal from Denny's today.
Free meal. Is that what Denny's does?
Yes, on your birthday you get a
Oh,
free meal.
really? I wonder if we got Denny's. Because I got a couple of driver's licenses. Yo, I got a couple driver's licenses. Let me see if one of my driver's licenses got this date. Uh, uh, nah, I ain't got no driver. Cause you gotta clear stuff like that up. People take it. Did you hear Dr. Morton?
I know, right?
You
Talking
don't
about
hear
he
the
got
whole
several
crew.
driver's licenses, right? He got a nerve to be talking about the grown man integrity and character. You know how that roll, how they take a clip and
Bruh, yes,
that
sir.
quick
Yes,
fast
sir.
in a hurry, bro.
Yes, sir, man. So okay, Leroy. Crystal says she's 48. Happy
Oh,
birthday, my
happy
friend.
birthday!
Yeah,
Yes,
happy
yes.
birthday, my friend. What's
Enjoy your
what's
day.
good with it?
Enjoy your day. Yeah.
What's good with it? What are you doing today? Um,
Have a ball.
yeah, have a ball. I mean,
Enjoy.
an absolute ball. You
You just
are good to so many people. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Like you're good to so many people that just for this day, Crystal, let your family, your dude, your friends, let people be good to you.
Yep.
You are so deserving of um, everything good. Like you're just so deserving of everything good. Let people be good to you today. I'm praying for you today, and happy birthday.
And you
She,
just
look.
missed
She said,
out.
"I'm in the office working." See about that paper.
You just missed being the greatest sign on the planet of Capricorn. You missed it by that much.
what sign is she?
Is that Aries, Crystal? Is that Aries that comes after Capricorn? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's.
Absolutely welcome, Crystal. Absolutely welcome.
I think it
Uh,
is. Yeah, I think it's. It might be Aries.
she said Aquarius.
Aquarius. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Aquarius.
It's
Is that a
Aquarius.
fish?
No, I think Pisces is the fit. I think
Pisces
Pisces.
is the fish. What's Aquarius?
Yeah.
Crystal,
Is
what
that
is
the?
Aquarius?
Is that the scale? Is Aquarius the scale? I don't know. I don't even. I'm not sure.
I thought is Gemini this? No, Gemini in the
No,
scale.
Jim's the twin. That's the
Yes,
twin.
it's twins.
Yeah.
We the best. We get the party started. She said Aquarius,
Aries,
air and water.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Well, we let y'all be great. We'll let Capricorns be great. We'll let Aquarius be great. But the truth of the matter is, August is coming. August is coming. And I feel like there ought to be a national holiday in August for everyone. Leroy, did you hear that? In the distance, there's a roar. Did you hear that roar? In the distance, there's a roar. Because we on our way. We get the party started, Crystal. We get the party started. So happy birthday. Says nobody answered the question, Leroy.
Yeah, where Crystal at? You said she was a hip hop head. I
She
don't know if
she,
she
she
missed it or
is.
not.
Yeah.
What's your
Let me
what's your
because I can guarantee I've heard it. I just don't know what it is.
who's has the
Eric,
better which one has the better beat, Crystal? You don't know Jay-Z or I ain't no joke, Eric B and Rakim.
look, there she got is Rakim.
My girl, yes
That's
sir, yes
Rakim.
sir.
Um,
That's the I remember the first time I heard that song, man. We were on I think we were on campus because I think it was in because that was No, that was in, I think that was 80. Yeah, it was on campus in at UMS in 80, 87, 88. And that's all you heard around campus was everybody bumping that I ain't no joke. It was check this out. It was I ain't no joke. Keith Sweat, I want
Oh
her.
yeah.
That's all you heard around campus, bro. I want her. And I'm trying to think of it. And Heavy D and the boys, the overweight
Okay.
love, overweight lovers. You heard that throughout the campus. That's what we was rocking. We was rocking down there, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
that I ain't no joke, man. That beat is just woo.
I ain't no joke. That is it. Yeah, I know. I don't know the names of them, but I know that. I know that beat anywhere,
Yeah, yeah,
anywhere.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So, you can take a line from my black card because I don't know the name, but you can't like everybody, black, white, it don't matter. By the way, for those of you that don't know, hip hop is supported by white folk too.
Yep, big
It is
time. That's why
supported
it's as big as it is. That's
absolutely,
real for real.
absolutely right. So great, great choice. I choose Rock Eric B and Rakim as well. Anybody else got another vote, or is everybody? Dwight, you got another vote, man? Let us know. Man, my allergies messing with me again, boy. I have no idea what's going on. I do have a new prescription for my glasses. I need to get some glasses because I was in Delaware going to my niece's house, right? And my nephew was on the porch. Uh, and I just kind of looked at the guy like, "What's up, man?" I didn't know who it was. I ain't had my glasses on. It was my nephew. My nephew was like, "Oh, what's?" I was like, "Hey, Max, what's up, Jeff?" He was like, he just looking at me like, "Man, you disgust me. You disgust me. You don't even know your own nephew." I didn't know. I just didn't know him. It was dark. I ain't had no glasses. And so now I'm seeing people and I don't even know who they are. I'm waving. Yeah, I need my glasses. I need to get some glasses and I need to get some fly ones. I got my mom's that I'm going to get filled. And then I've got some others that I'm going to do as well. So when you see me on here fly, don't get mad. Don't hate. Just embrace it. Look, you knew she was going to do it, Leroy. You gave her two choices. She came up with a third. Also, Big Daddy Kane, super dope person and performer.
Yeah, but his beats wasn't as hard as Rakim's though.
She talking about him personally. See,
Yeah,
she done
yeah.
brought up some personal
I'm talking
dope
about the
person.
beats. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
we
the
talking about the beats, Crystal. We're not talking about how dope a person he is. Forget Big Daddy Kane. We don't
now
care about
he
him.
Big Daddy Kane is one of the top hip hop artists of
Hey,
all.
whoa. Yeah, you got to slow down when you say that because you just called him Big Daddy. So I need you to slow down.
No, I
Yeah,
will say that Big Daddy Kane. That's the
yeah.
that is in that. It ain't like his name is Delicious Daddy Kane. Delicious Kane. Nothing like that. Big Daddy Kane. Everybody know Big Daddy Kane. So
Everybody know Big Daddy Kane, but you just can't.
yes,
You gotta
ain't
say
no
it all
half
together.
stepping is nice.
You
Ain't no half stepping is nice, but it is
ain't no
not.
hair
I
stuff.
ain't no joke.
Ain't
It
no-
can't hang with I ain't no joke. It can't.
Listen, hey Crystal, I'm just trying to help the brother because if he, again, he was talking a moment ago about how clips happen, right? How clips
Well, you
happen,
right about that.
how people take a clip, and that dude just said, "Yeah, Big Daddy, nice." Like no, bro, you don't want that clip
Yeah, but
going viral.
somebody take that and be like, yeah, that Big Daddy. They take out the cane, clip and be the Big Daddy. Yeah, okay. Well, what is Leroy talking about, Big Daddy? So, he sounded like Monique talking about.
Leroy calling a grown man Big Daddy. Yeah, there's something. There, there's something. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. We're
Donald says,
just
slow your roll.
we're just building an audience. We want the right audience here. So yeah, we got to be real clear about what we're saying. All right, y'all. Good morning. It's time for us to put the hoodies up. We are going to put the hoodies up. We're going to get serious about it.
Let's go.
Uh, I had my hat on backwards. Leroy said I was being disrespectful to the brand by having my hat on backwards. I didn't. The icon couldn't be seen. Um, and so yeah, he think he runs me because he's older. He think he runs me because he's older. But he don't run me. You don't run me.
I'm the big brother. I'm the big brother.
You-
We always running.
yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen, this is what we're dealing with today. We are back at it. Rising voices, black men and the power shift in politics. I need as many of you as can to invite some people to the conversation. We want to hear varying perspectives. I love Leroy and I were just talking about how phenomenal it is to have differences of opinions. You got
Yes.
to be a grown man to be able to hear an opinion from someone that you respect, you just don't agree with. And you should have that kind of person in your life that gives you another perspective other than yours that you can actually learn from and grow from. And that is what Leroy does for me. Uh, there are things that we slightly differ on, and there are things that we passionately differ on. Um, but it's so good to be able to have a conversation about these things. Leroy, is there anything left from what we need to talk about yesterday? We've talked about several things so far um, on the podcast that deal with politics. Let me just kind of couch our whole conversation that there is a need for black men to engage in community and, in particular, the political arena. Engaging in politics doesn't mean just that you vote. We want you to vote. But I believe, Leroy, that voting is kind of the basement, right?
Hmm.
That's what you should do. Everybody should vote. And here at the Grown Man Podcast, uh, you may be surprised. I differ than most with who we should vote for. I have my own position on who we should vote for. Um, and the reasons why, right? Leroy and I differ on a number of fronts as it relates to who would best serve Black people and why. I respect his position because his position is substantive, right? He just looks at it from a different lens. I believe he respects my position, uh, even though I look at it from a different lens. I don't care who you vote for, black man. I need you engaged in the process. There's something about who we become during the process. It's not always about the outcome. We talked about that too, Leroy. We talked about the fact that sometimes we make it about the outcome. Brothers say, I don't want to vote because it really doesn't change anything. That's because you're trying to you're trying to really um you determine your involvement by the outcome, whether or not the person you voted for is the one that gets in office. And I don't think that that's a fair assessment of the process because all of us are going to lose at one point as it relates to the candidate that we vote for. All of us are going to lose at one point or another. You're not going to vote 100% of the time and get your person in office 100% of the time. But there's someone that you become engaged in the process. There are things that you learn engaged in the process. There are things that you know as a part of the process, Leroy, that you would not know had you not engaged the process, right? Let's talk about that a bit before we get into what we talk about today.
Nah, here's the I've learned so much over the past what? When was he in office? Was it 2016 to 2020? I learned so much about the process. I learned so much about our government, what it says, but what it actually is.
Mm,
It taught me that because of what we've been told, what we've been educated about, and so when you're engaged in the process, and you are a you put yourself in the position to be able to listen and to learn, and then you take what you've listened to, what you've learned about those individuals that are in politics, and that they the different things. You To me, you learn a lot. I've learned a lot. I've learned so much, and it's just it's just the simplest thing of doing the work,
yeah.
and finding out who what these people really what they're really about, and even those that are in office, what they the difference between what they may have said and how they voted, because you can see
Mm,
the decisions
mm.
that they've made. And remember, and I don't remember. I told you. I told no. I told Brian McNeil this the other day, because they on his group thing, he was talking about relationships, right? And I told him to do this very thing. I said, the next time you talking with women about relationships and stuff like this, I want you to ask them this thing. And fellas, this is for you too. Want you to list the things that you say you want in a person, right? And then I want you to look at the choices that you've made and the people that you've gotten involved with, and ask yourself, do those choices align with what you said you wanted? And I want us from the political
Okay,
perspective.
back up a bit. 'Cause I think I heard it. I want to
Uh,
capture all of it. Give that
uh,
to me one more time, bro. That's a powerful point.
yeah. I want you to list what you say you wanted in a relationship, what you want that person to be, who you ask, what does that person look like that you want to be in a relationship with? I want you to listen. You want to be kind, you want to be considerate, you want to be, to be have a sense of humor. Write those things down. And then I want you to look at the choices that you've made in those relationships that you've gotten in. Did that person match what you said you wanted? And and
Wow.
I told him, I said, I promise you, if you look at those choices, the majority of those choices did not match what you say you wanted. They wanted. Same thing in our politics. You say you want better roads. You say you want a better educational system. You say you want better this and better that for your family from a political
That
perspective.
is so good.
But who you voted for, or who you, I don't say allow, because we only have so much power when it comes to getting people in office. But are the people in office a reflection of what you say you want? And what are you doing to get the people that you say that have your best interest at heart to get into office? Are you supporting them in whatever capacity that you're able to support them, to show that, hey, this is the type of person that we need in office. This is the type of person that we want, that has our best interest for our community at heart. So I'm going to do my part to get them elected. I'm going to do my part to spread the word so that people know who this person is, because of their platform and the things that I believe in, that they I
I
mean,
like it.
to that's to me, that's how I look at it. That's how I look at politics. How I look at the people. We're so quick to say, like you were talking about a little minute ago. Well, my vote isn't going to mean anything, or my vote doesn't mean anything. Well, if you don't do anything, of course, then what you not doing anything means that you're going to get what they tell you you're going to get. That's like what we talked about, having the agenda.
Yeah.
If you don't have an agenda and you're asking them for an agenda, yeah, they're going to dictate to you what that looks like, what your community looks like. We are and this going to hurt some feelings. We might lose a couple people off of this, bro. We are a reflection of who we voted for.
Mm.
This country as a whole is a reflection of the people that we put in office and that we voted for.
This country as a whole is a reflection of the people that we put in office. I absolutely agree with that. I also agree that who we vote for is a reflection of our own values and what we believe
Hmm.
and what our stances are. Um, as we've stated before, and we don't have to get into this a whole lot, bruh, but as we've stated before, most people, and maybe it'd be a good idea for us to um, put up for our viewers what the parties say they stand for. Now, I'm not saying that they kind of walk in lockstep because they oftentimes don't.
Hmm.
But I think so many people register and vote. Mike Norton, what's happening, man? Good to see you, bro. Grinding while listening, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us
Yes, sir.
um, and listening to us while you grind. Um, I don't know that people really under the average voter, Leroy. I'm not
Hmm.
talking about those that of us that are heavily engaged like you and I
Right.
are, because both of us are heavily engaged. The average voter doesn't know. We are really personality driven
Yeah.
as a culture, right?
No, no, absolutely.
We're
Yep.
personality driven. We're not really based on principle at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we base our vote on personality, likability, name recognition, all of
Yep.
those things that play the game in politics. But you don't get my vote because I like you.
Hmm.
You get my vote because I believe that the platform and what you stand for is what I also stand for. I'm not going to go, boy, my back is itching. I need a back scratcher. Somebody mail me a back scratcher FedEx. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I vote based on principle. I don't vote based on likability. I don't have to
Hmm.
like you. I do have to know that what we believe is aligned. And none of us get 100%. Shut up, Crystal. Yes, girl. I'm trying to scratch my back. My back is itching. Um, but Leroy, how do we get past? And this is a real question, bro. How do we get past making decisions based on the D and the R, Democrat, Republican? And how do we get to a place where we're making decisions really based on what we believe, our values, who we are as men individually? And how do we respect Leroy as a Democrat, Donald as an independent, and another black man who is a Republican? How do we find ourselves at least respecting one another in our different positions? If how do we get to that place?
Well, I mean, my thing is we say this all we've said this all the time that you have respect coming in the door.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We give you respect coming in the door, but we're not going to allow you to speak any kind of nonsense. To us, to the men that are a part of this group, because we understand, and you've said this, we understand our purpose.
Yeah.
When you're on purpose and you understand that, man, you're not willing to tolerate those that can't that go against that purpose.
Yeah.
And that goes in politics. When you hear certain people, and we talk about it all the time, we talk about both parties and everything like that. There's certain people in the Republican Party that we'd be like, yeah, that dude sounds intelligent. You can have a conversation. You don't have to agree, but we know that, hey, that's someone that we believe that we could have a conversation. They're at
The
really
Michael Steels of the world.
correct.
Right? And I know we
Absolutely.
mentioned
That's
him a lot, but he's
right.
such a I just like the guy. I
Mhm.
believe in what he believes in. We are aligned in many of the
Okay.
areas that he believes in. Um, but he's not one of the challenges with the Republican Party for me is that they can be real nasty. Like I don't get down like that. I just don't. I think it's a turn off, calling each other names, all that kind of craziness. I think it's a turn off for me. So I try to find common ground. One of my favorite senators in Delaware is a guy by the name of Senator Chris Coons. We are actually friends. And he took me to, or invited me to the presidential breakfast years ago, right? So I've had really, really great experiences. Um, what I appreciate most about Chris is Chris has his fundamental beliefs as a Democrat, but he's also been very willing to work across the aisle because you can't get anything done,
Correct.
right, if you don't have some concessions on both sides of the aisle so that you can come up with this new thing that is both supported by Democrats and Republicans in order to get some things accomplished. Um, let's see, Facebook user. Holla at me, let me know who you are. Facebook user. Most people affiliate with a particular party because of what the people around you say you should be.
Mm,
Most people
mm,
that I've grown up with vote party instead of candidate.
mm.
So right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Keishad. That's my son. That's
Right
the
on
son of
point.
my loins.
Right on point too.
Right on point. Right. Let's read it again. It's because it's important. Most people vote. Most people affiliate with a particular party because of what the people around them say you should be. So uh, in 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 the African American community, by and large, we support the Democratic Party because
Okay.
that's what Keshad is saying. I think I don't want to put words in his mouth, right? But he's saying, look, the people around me often dictate what they say I should be.
Mm,
I'm almost an outlier, an outcast, if I'm anything other than a Democrat as a black man, as a black person. And he says most people I've grown up with vote party instead of candidate. And here's the deal: they have no idea what the party stands for. I think that I would be okay if everyone, because I'm that way. Like I am a conservative. I'm more conservative leaning, right? So I believe in lower taxes. I believe in smaller government. I believe in the air quote morality of family. I am pro life. Those things that are fundamental to the Republican Party. I can't get down with racism though. No, I can't get down with racism. You got one time to call me a nigga. I'm gonna put you in your mouth. Like, yo, I'm gonna put you to sleep. I'm gonna slide you, right? And I'm gonna slide you. You don't even know it's me that slid you because it won't be me. I'm gonna smile in your face. And I'm gonna call Keshad and say, hey man, what's your connection to the hood? And so he can send somebody see about you. Right. So I recognize somebody says, hello, sir, Facebook user. Man, StreamYard treating us real funky, man. I'm convinced now, Leroy, it ain't the people, man. It's StreamYard treating us funky. Like some people, yeah, I want to know who is saying hello. Yes, sir. He said, yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm saying. So for me, um, I'm more conservative. Leroy is more liberal. Leroy is not all the way to the left. I'm not all the way to the right. Both of us are center right and center left. That's the way I like to describe. Is that a fair characterization, Leroy?
yeah,
Center,
I think so.
you're
Hmm.
center left,
Yes.
I'm center right. Which is the reason why we get on here and argue so much. And y'all get a chance to see us argue and piss each other off and then love each other at the end of the podcast. It's just what we do, right? Um, but you got to make decisions based on what you stand for. And what I cannot do is tell Leroy that his decisions are wrong because his decisions are based on what he stands for. and I stand with him in what he stands for. I know he is unapologetically black. He is. We may differ on how to get there, but both of us are trying to get to the same place. So I think Keshad is right when he says, look, most people are voting for the D or the R and not the candidate. Um, and that's why now there's another group of people who say, I don't give a dog on who the candidate is. Right. To Keshad's point, I'm a vote R. And that's how you get Donald Trump leading in the polls on the Republican side, because they said if he's our candidate, he's our candidate. But this is what we stand for. We stand for this. I don't know that I could vote for Donald Trump. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I couldn't. I don't know that I could vote for Donald Trump though. Right? Leroy, tell me what the laughing is, Leroy.
Lefty, because those you'll never hear me say that. I know I will never vote for Donald Trump. I'm
Well,
sorry.
well,
Definitive
you
about that. There's nowhere in the world that I even give a thought to voting for that man. I'm sorry. Ain't there's
look,
nothing. Remember we started this day off talking about toxic people
yes,
and not having
yes,
them in your
yes,
life.
yes.
Donald Trump is a toxic person.
Let me ask you this: could you vote for Nikki Haley?
No,
Could you vote for Ron DeSantis?
no,
So you couldn't vote for a Republican and those are the faces of the Republican Party right now on the
correct.
presidential side, right?
hmm
I
hmm
could vote for Nikki Haley
And why is that? Why could you vote for her? Knowing what you
because
just said, what you just said as
because
far as
because I am let a female get testy. I'm 48 with a 40. Let a female get I'm let right. So this is a Crystal saying, let a female get testy.
I
I'm
tell him,
48 with a
Crystal,
48.
you locked and loaded.
And she locked and loaded, right? Um,
hmm
so y'all just hear me. Like, don't turn me off because Leroy's on the program too. So if you turn me off, you turn Leroy off, right? So don't turn us off. We just disagree in this area. I agree with the majority of the Republican platform. I agree with it. You asked me about it earlier in the week or late last week,
hmm
right?
hmm hmm
What is it that you? I agree with small government. I agree with lower taxes. I agree with. I'm pro life. I agree with um, the Second Amendment, the right to bear. Like I agree. I fundamentally agree with those things, right? Um, and so as long as somebody said Donald Trump is bad with delivery and some of what he says, but I respect the fact that he is unapologetically authentic. I rather that than a candidate who acts as if he is for the people but secretly isn't. And I think that is I think that's fair. One of the reasons why Donald Trump to that point, and okay, that's key. Hey, Key, man, do me a favor when you at the end of your comments, just because Facebook is acting funky or StreamYard is acting funky, at the end of your comments, just put KS for Keshad Senior, because you are like Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. Everybody's got to put senior on your name because you have a son that is a junior and you want to make sure that everybody calls you senior now. We don't even have an opportunity to call you Keshad anymore. Everybody has to call you senior. Like respect me, call me senior. So Leroy, when you approach my son, call him senior.
Call him senior.
call,
Yes,
call
sir.
him senior, right?
Sir.
I think that's a valid point, Leroy. What about you?
No, and you can have respect for that he is who he says he is, and he doesn't waver from it. He hasn't wavered from it,
Yes,
and
sir.
and and so doesn't mean that you have to, like you always say, you don't have to agree with it.
Yes,
You don't
sir.
have to believe in it. And you don't have to vote for him or anything like that. But it's like, okay, yeah, I know where you stand.
Yeah,
I know how you really feel about
yeah,
me or us and
yeah,
everything like that, and I can move accordingly.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah, yeah,
I can move accordingly
yeah,
because I know how you act. Versus someone who does, like Senior was saying, who does hide the way that they feel and they
yeah,
secretly detest you, but but they, you know, they with the OJ say, smile in your face.
And all the time.
They
Uh,
backstabbers
Backstabber.
want to take your place.
Yeah, yeah. So
You know,
let me push on you a bit, man.
yep.
We're talking about rising voices, black men, and the power shift in politics. Those of you that are new to watching the podcast, this is where grown men conversations take place. Leroy, answer this for me, man. Where are the cotton candy conversations being held?
Oh yeah, they you know, if you go down the street about 5 blocks, make that left when you see the corner store. You know how we used to give directions, right? We use landmarks. We don't know no street names. Go down about 5 blocks. You're gonna see the house with the green on it. Yeah, with the green awning on it. Make that left. Go down about 3 more blocks and you see it right there. You know that's how we used to do. That's how we describe it.
That's where the fluffy conversations are happening. Here, we having grown men conversations, and we have the respected right to disagree.
Yep.
And there's no fallout from us disagreeing. That's what makes us grown men. We're not going. I'm gonna punch you in the mouth with my position. Leroy gonna punch me in the mouth with his position. Then we're gonna go get a beer. Leroy don't drink. I don't drink beer, so we're not gonna go get a beer. Leroy is of the puff puff pass generation. so he might invite you, get a little.
No.
He
We're
might
gonna we
invite
gonna
you, get a
we
little
gonna we
weed.
gonna we gonna go get a half and half, and that's half iced tea, half lemonade, y'all. Not the other half, another kind of half and
I
half.
tried to get the dude to get a rum and coke for his birthday so badly. I put it on social media. I did everything I could.
I was watching the one of the highlights or whatever on YouTube with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, right? And he was saying Ocho Cinco was saying that he's never drank, and I think he said he never smoked too.
Okay.
Never drank, never smoked, and any way that he pronounced cognac, he pronounced it really weird. But they got into the conversation about cognac. But he was saying that if what did he say? If he said if they got to a certain, I think if they got to a certain number of followers, he was gonna have a sip of cognac. He was like, I'll have my first sip of cognac on there. I'm like, nah, bro, don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta
You done gone
like
56
when
years
we're
without having a drink.
you and I are getting ready to start a campaign to build our numbers on YouTube. And when we reach a certain amount, we gonna
No,
drink.
sir, it still ain't happening.
We gonna drink, Leroy.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink my half and half. You gonna drink what you gonna drink? No, sir.
I
Not
need
at
all of
all.
y'all to, if you desire to see Leroy drink,
They can desire it all they
if
want
you
to.
if you
They don't
des-
control this. You not
if you
understand. You're not
desire
hearing
if
me.
you desire to see Leroy drink, I need you to send a
And
letter.
there you go. Then you perpetuate and see.
I
Then
need
you go. Now see, I go out here and become an alcoholic, and then you it
then
be all
I'm
your
like
fault.
then I'm like I let Leroy, I gotta let you go, man. I can't have you.
Right. Be like, yeah. Then be like, no, I can't do it. Like you coming on here. I can smell the alcohol through the screen. Like, no, sir.
So
No.
I want to make sure that we exhaust Keyshawn Senior's comment,
Yeah. Yeah. For real.
right?
For real.
Because I think it's substantive. I
Yeah.
think he brings up a point that I think should be explored.
Hmm.
How much of these political races are actually based on the popularity we talked about and an effective way to speak and articulate a position?
Hmm.
Um, and how much of it is just really based on substance? If you were to give a percentage to it, Leroy, percentage of that which is based on real substance, people are voting based on real substance, and people voting on charisma, conversation, that kind of thing, where would you place that percentage?
And this goes for both sides. This goes for Democrats and Republicans. I'm going to say it's 90%. Uh, uh, what you were saying, the charisma and all of those things for both of them. you know, and it's 10% of actually what that person represents. Because if you look at like I said, simple, y'all. Take a look at what they say and look at what they've done. Don't and I listen to her name is Dr. K. She comes over here, Morgan State Station. Love listening to her.
Okay.
She's very informative and everything like that. They talk politics and stuff on there too. But she had this thing. She said, "Don't tell me about what don't tell me about what you're gonna do. Tell me what you've done, because I can look at what
That's
you've
fair.
done
Yeah, that's fair.
and see what it is that you're talking about that you're going to do, because there's a difference between you know there's a difference between campaigning and actually legislating. What have you
Very
legislated?
true. Very true.
What have you legislated? What has your party legislated for our community? What has your party legislated for black men?
Very
And
true, bro.
let the record show.
Yeah,
And the record ain't showing.
very true.
So
Very,
that's how I look at it.
very
You know,
true.
and I mean, and if we did, if we truly looked at both, I don't say either part. That's why we got to do our homework.
Yes,
The average voter, or the voter hey, they're just going off of what we were talking about today, sound bites.
yes,
They're going off of sound bites. They're going off of what they see on TV. That's the charismatic stuff. These politicians know, hey, when the camera's on, I got to perform.
yes.
I've got to say certain words. I've got to say certain, things in order to be able to garner someone's vote.
Very true.
Because if I don't say
Focus
these particular
groups. What
things,
are the most popular words right
yeah,
now? Yeah, yeah. You got speech writers,
right,
all of these things that are designed to craft a message that is important for the voter to hear to get the voter to vote for you.
yep,
But your point is so spot on, and the sister's point is so spot on. That's why even the debates, like I love to watch the debates for
hmm
entertainment's sake,
hmm
but they don't really determine a whole lot. They
hmm
really don't. The
right,
question really is, let me look at your record.
yep,
That really is the question. Let me look at your record, and
yeah.
let me ask myself as a black man whether or not your record has been impactful to me. So let me give you an example of the reason why I think we can have varying positions,
hmm
right? To Keshad's point, right? Um, I was watching Killer Mike. I was
Okay,
watching Killer Mike, right? Killer Mike was having a conversation in this broad conversation. Candace Owens was there as well.
okay.
Ti was there. Candace
I think
Owens,
yeah, I think I remember I've seen I
right?
think I've seen that what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but I remember.
Candace Owens said, Leroy. Candace Owens said, "Hey, look, one of the biggest challenges um, that our communities are facing is fatherlessness."
Mhm.
And because Candace Owens said it, they
Yep,
hopped her. I mean, they,
absolutely.
they remember they hopped her, bruh.
hmm
And Killer Mike said, "Oh, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said the exact same thing, and y'all
hmm
celebrate him, but you want to kill this." I don't agree with everything Candace Owens said. He said, but what she's saying is right.
But
So you're attempting to crucify the message with the messenger because you don't like the messenger.
well, we got to be careful with that,
Right.
because like we just talked about, if she Candace Owens understands that I'm in a certain environment, I'm talking to a certain people,
Yes.
and I want them to connect to me.
Yes.
I'm going to say certain things that I know that they want to hear.
Yes.
So
But
that I think that's why she got the kickback to me. I could be wrong, but I
right.
think
Well,
that's
she
why
got
she
the kickback because she is a Republican. That's
mhm.
all. The only reason Candace Owens says she says some
Yeah,
wild
yeah. So you
things
don't
out
think it had to
there,
do? You don't
right?
think it has to do with her record and the things that she
Well,
said,
I think
the
that
things that she's
Candace
done?
Owens makes valid points when she says that, and I gentlemen, ladies, listen to me. You may disagree with me, but I'm telling you from my perspective, they are valid concerns. When
And
we are
I don't think
when we
anybody
are
can
marching,
disagree with that.
when we are marching, for example, what's my guy that was killed by police? That they absolutely they laid on that dude's neck until he suffocated and died. George Floyd,
George Floyd.
right? The single most horrific treatment
Yeah.
of a black man. They treated that dude like an animal,
Yep.
right? And I am with everyone who says, okay, what that officer did to George Floyd is punishable by prison time, and fortunately, a jury of our peers agreed. Here's what Candace Owen also says, though, that we've got to begin to restructure the image of individuals that we are actually fighting for. That we cannot continue as a people. This is her position. I agree with some of it I don't. But I agree with her when she says that we also have to investigate the behavior, criminal activity, so on and so forth, of black men, black women, or whomever. That we don't celebrate that, right? We don't celebrate the criminality of black people and call them the face of a movement. No, we don't do that either. We also have a right to critique anyone who, just like people critique me, people critique you, they have a right to critique individuals and say, was George Floyd doing what he was supposed to be doing in that moment? And if he wasn't, we have a right to critique that. We have a right to critique that. We have a right to critique that. We have a right to say George Floyd wasn't doing, and it doesn't take away from the fact that an officer that killed him should go to jail. Both things can be true at the same time. And when we are so emotional about it, that we create a superhero out of someone who is participating in criminal activity, I have a problem with that.
But here's the thing, and here's my pushback with you on that. And like I said, we've got to be careful in supporting those who are not, to me, and I truly believe this about Candace, who is not genuine in what they are saying or doing. Because like I said, let's look at the record. What does the record show? And I don't care what that brother was doing, as long as he was not threatening that police officer in that moment. There's nothing that he was doing that
Two
warranted
things
his
can be
death.
true at the same time. Two things can
No,
be true at the same time. And this is a part of the issue that I have with our people. Listen to me, y'all. Two things can be true at the same time. I just acknowledge that what they did to George Floyd was punishable by going to jail for the rest of that man's life, without question. Without question. There's no question about that. At the same time, we've got to be able to say to our people, which is the position of the Remand Project. The position of the Remand Project is that we want to deal with systems that treat black men unfairly and serve as impediments for the advancement of black people. That is a position. But the other position is, hey, my man, do better.
but what was he doing?
I'm not just talking about George Floyd.
No,
I'm
I get
talking
it,
about
but
as
that's what I'm
a
saying.
principle.
No,
I'm
that's what
talking
I'm
about
saying.
as a principle.
That's
As
what I'm
a
saying.
principle.
What could a black man do? Because we're using scenarios. What could, and I get it. There's some men that now, if they got a gun in their hand, they selling drugs, they're doing unlawful things. It still does not warrant your life to be taken.
No one
It
said
doesn't.
that. No one said that. And this is a part of we got to think critically, y'all. No one, Kashad just brought it up. He said, if I think if you decide to bring up that George Floyd was or was not doing, it sounds like justification for the behavior of the cop. And you got to think critically, because no one is justifying the behavior of the cop. I just spent 10 minutes telling y'all that the cop was absolutely wrong, should go to jail for the rest of his life, and he did. I am agreeing with that. There is no justification for George Floyd having his life taken by a cop. None. What I am also saying, though, is that just like there are systems that are against our people, there are also, I'll give you an example. I was just in Delaware recently doing on the tour, right? A brother who shall remain nameless because he works actually for the city. When we were marching, I don't know that we were marching for George Floyd. We could have been marching. What was the guy, Leroy, that was selling cigarettes in New York, right?
I know you're talking about. Yeah, was it Garner? Was it Garner? Was his last name? It's something like that. But I know exactly who you're talking about, though.
Yeah, Eric Garner. I think you're right, right?
Yeah, not Garner. I think, yeah.
He said, Doc.
Okay, I found this on the web for he said. Check it out.
He said, hey, Doc, I get what you're attempting to do with making sure that you march on behalf of individuals who have been wronged by police. This is a black man talking to me. This is a black man talking to me. He said, but let me tell you what's actually happening out here in the street. You are emboldening criminals, because criminals know that all they got to do is say, or it can, to Keshad's point, to Senior's point, all it's got to look like is that black men are being treated poorly by police, and we are. But at the same time, the question becomes, hey, my guy, what, to your point, Leroy, you made a brilliant point. If I know, I've been in enough meetings with chiefs of police, with governors, with mayors, with vice presidents, with presidents. I've been in those meetings. That's not me flossing. That's is what it is. I've been in those meetings. I've been in meetings with the district attorney, the attorney generals. I've been in those meetings. And what they're saying is, we got on one hand us saying, don't stop and frisk. On another hand, we saying, because it seems like unfairly we are stopping and frisking in communities of color, right? On the other hand, there are people who are saying, black law enforcement officers are saying, we know he carrying. We know he carrying. We know he just popped so-and-so down the street. And usually we pop so-and-so down the street that looks like him, not because of black on black crime. Black on black crime is a misnomer. Black on black crime is a crime of proximity. Yes, it's not based on color. It's based on proximity.
Correct.
Right? So what I'm saying to y'all is that we have to be principled. For the mom who knows your son is selling and you benefiting from his sales, you can't trip out when he's out here wilding and then he gets popped by police or whatever the case may be. Nah, I'm not marching. If something happens, like, because power concedes nothing without a demand. Fred Douglass, right? Power concedes nothing without a demand and never has, it never will. Absolutely true. When something like that happens to George Floyd, we gotta march, because if we don't, awareness won't happen. And if awareness doesn't happen, pressure won't happen. If pressure doesn't happen, it don't even go to a grand jury. So I know how the process works. That is a conversation against the system that continues to treat us poorly and unfairly. Agreed. You get no smoke from me about that. But let me tell you a part of what's not happening, Leroy. I think you will agree with me. A part of what is not happening, we got about 7 minutes. This has been such a great conversation. I love my boy Leroy McKenzie Jr. He said, no, 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 no. That's how he talk to me when he get mad at me. No, 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 no. Right? There are some, even if we don't want to have them out here, because I've been told, hey, Donald, you're having conversations out here that we should be having behind the scenes as family conversations, because it kind of comes off like you in favor of white people. I ain't in favor of white people, black people. I'm absolutely in love with black people. I'm in love with us enough to say, hey man, that behavior you're exhibiting is corny. And I'm in love with black people enough to say, hey, when you get pulled over by police, put your hands on that dash or put your hands out the window. And sometimes that don't even work. I've put my hands out the window and had a cop tell me, put your gun inside the car. My mom comes running from the church and says, what's going on? Ma'am, get back. Man, who you talking to? So I've been there. That's the system. That's the system at its best, and at its best for them is at its worst for us. But I'm also against the guy who gets pulled over by police and immediately starts an altercation. What you pull me over for? No, 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 no. Bro, you want to go home. The objective is to go home. Shut your mouth. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Put your hands out the window. Whatever you got to do to go home. You got a family that is relying on you to come home. And I need you, Leroy needs you on the front lines to be able to fight the system, but you can't fight the system in that moment. That ain't the time to fight the system. Because if you do something crazy, like pull out your piece on a cop, or you get crazy, give them permission. There's never permission. I know. Don't write me no letter. I ain't going to read the letter. I'm not saying that there's permission to treat us poorly, badly, unfairly. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we've got to develop a sense of emotional intelligence to get us out of that moment so we can get home to our families. So you can call Leroy and say, hey, this is what happened to me on the side of the road. I need somebody to do something about it. Then we got a leg to stand on. But if you out there throwing blows with police, you're not going to win that. Let me just be clear. You're not going to win that. One of my favorite shows on TV is Law and Order SVU. I'm watching it right now, Leroy. Law and Order SVU. And I remember Olivia Benson saying to a gang member that she locked up, he said, we can find you. And she said, do what you got to do. I'm a part of the biggest gang there is, the NYPD. So what I'm trying to get us to see, Leroy, is, and tell me whether you agree, man. I'm going to give you final words. I'm not in favor of the either or conversation. I think the either or conversation is detrimental to us as a people. Either I'm for Black people and against police, or I'm for police and I'm against Black people. False dichotomy. I'm for Black people 100% of the time. But I've got to be able to tell us some Keisha, I think that's Keisha saying it. Accountability is important. Let's everybody take accountability. I've said that to the police chief. Like, you want our neighborhoods to snitch on each other. But when your police officer has a bad shooting, ain't nobody from your police department saying, hey, that was a bad shooting. Ain't nobody saying that. But you want us to say, hey, around the corner, like Leroy, y'all know how we give directions. Around the corner, down the street, under the green awning, that's where no. You can't want us to do that, and you're not willing to call out your officers. So I'm saying it's and both. That there's accountability that has to happen on both sides. That is the reason why I'm an independent. Accountability needs to happen on both sides. Police, just in this instance, police and Black people and police. Black people, we are not 100% of the time right. When that officer pulled me over, Leroy, I blew that stop sign, acted as if it wasn't even there. I was going down by my church. at I know 60 miles an hour in the neighborhood. And the cop lit me up, pulled me over, and my mom being a mom said, would you pull my son over? She ran from Bible study. Would you pull my son? Because she knows what the likelihood is going to happen. You pull a black man over. And she got some pull in the city. I had some pull in the city. So they didn't treat me. That dude never saw that area again. My mom placed one phone call. This is what happened to my son. Okay, Bishop Morton. He ain't see that side of town ever. But everybody ain't my mom. Everybody ain't me. Everybody ain't you, Leroy. We're fighting for the least of these. And a part of fighting for the least of these is being able to tell black men, hey, my man, your behavior is doing a detriment to our community too. It ain't just white police. It's also you. You selling that poison to our people. I love you. I respect you. Stop selling poison to our people. Stop beating black women. Stop treating black women poorly. Those are the things that we have to talk to, in addition to fighting a system that is unjust and unequal. We also have to have some conversations on our side. We got about 5 minutes, Leroy. Take the rest of it, man. I'm going to be quiet. I've talked a lot. Thank you for giving me space to be able to share my position.
Here's the thing, and I get there is a certain aspect of our community that is like that, that is doing wrong, and I don't think you'll get anybody that will disagree with you that they
Yes,
need
sir.
to be dealt with, that they need to be held accountable. But on that same side are people that do nothing, have done nothing, and still get that same mistreatment.
Yes, sir.
Now, by law, we're supposed to get treated, whether it's the person that is doing wrong or the person that isn't doing wrong. They're supposed to be able to differentiate the two.
Mm.
There's no differentiation between the two, unfortunately, between them, because they want to treat us as a monolith.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's
for sure.
that's not how they're supposed to be.
For sure.
Just like you gave a perfect an example. You said you blew the
I
stop
blew
sign.
that stop sign.
This was years ago, and this happened to me, and I wrote it. I put it in my book that I have, Young and Gifted. I'm going to see a friend of mine. This is between Baltimore to Glen Burnie. It's about a 35-minute drive, right on the highway. This is 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Go go get to my friend's house. I'm sitting in her living room. Not there, not even 5 minutes. She gets a knock on the door. It's a policeman and two uh non people.
Okay.
Now, the only thing, and the policeman asked a couple of, he said, do either you, because it was just she and I, do either of you own a gray Jeep Grand Cherokee? It was mine. I'm thinking something happened to my car.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's mine. And he turns to the two people and he says, is this him? They say yes. They walk out the door, walk up the street and around the corner, because I watched them. He said, sir, do you mind stepping outside? I said, okay. I said, fine. He asked me, have you had anything to drink today? No, I don't drink. So my friend is with me. She's like, what did you do? I was like, I ain't did nothing. I was like, I ain't did
Mm-hmm.
nothing to nobody. I don't know what this dude is asking me about.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, do you mind taking a breathalyzer? Okay, fine. You ain't gonna find nothing on me. I'm good. So he gives me the breathalyzer. I take the. She's like, what in the world did you do? She had her ex-husband was a state trooper.
Okay.
She's like, I think she got on the phone with him and asked him a couple questions, whatever, and stuff like that. But meanwhile, I'm with this cop, and I'm sitting there. So after he finishes the breathalyzer, he goes to his car, goes to his trooper, his car, comes back and gives me 4 tickets. Gives me these 4 tickets. One was for reckless driving, moving, switching lanes, and something else. I can't even remember all of them. But I remember my friend. She's like, "What did you?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know these two people. I don't know these people that were here, whatever." And so, still to this day, I couldn't tell you what happened. The only thing I can think of is we were on the highway. I don't know if they think that I cut them off or whatever happened with them.
Got it.
They were One, it was a male and female. The female was a district attorney in the courthouse in Annapolis. The other one was a district attorney in Glen Burnie. I wound up having to go to court, get an attorney, get a lawyer to fight this because I would have gotten something like a whole bunch of points, and my
Okay.
license would have been gone. So I
Okay.
had to fight.
Okay.
Go to court. Finds out that, and my attorney, she was on it. I love her to this day. And she finds out that they were DAs because she was the one that told me that they were DAs. So we go to court the day of the court date, the day court. We come in to the court, and the guy's there because he's going to testify. And the judge, he used to work for the judge. So they have to inform me of this and
Yes.
ask me if I want to have the judge recused
Yes.
or if I want another judge. And
Yeah.
so my attorney explained to me, I was like, yeah, I'm like, I don't want this.
Yeah,
I was like, and they don't used to work for them. Ain't no way.
Right.
So I get another judge, and they put another judge, and we do the case, and they put the DA on the stand, and he's walking around kiki and ha and all this stuff and everything like that, in the coming into the courtroom and all this, that, and the other. And so he gets up there, and the cop was there too, and the judge asked him questions, and I think he talked about me swerving, making it seem like I was inebriated or something.
Got it.
And so it was basically his word against mine.
Got it.
And so the judge looks to me and says, well, do you know this? I was like, no, I don't know him. He said, well, you must have done something. Dude, I got hot. I was about to go in on the judge.
Yeah.
And my attorney, she was so smooth. Only thing she did, bro, was put her hand on my shoulder.
Yes, sir.
To let me know. Calm down.
I got this. Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
So I did. Calm down. And she went into her thing. And so wound up not getting the points. And I think I wound up paying one of the fines or something like that. But after the case was over, the judge goes to my attorney. Counselor, great job. You did a great job on this. And tells that DA before he got off the stand, he said, well, sir, I would not recommend that you go and follow someone, because they followed me to my friend. She lived in an apartment building, so they didn't know
Yes,
what
sir.
apartment I went to. They just know the building
Yes, sir.
where
Yes,
my
sir.
truck was parked in.
Yes,
The
sir.
cop was going up to all of the apartments and
Yes,
knocking
sir.
on the doors.
Yes, sir.
He said, I wouldn't suggest that you do that in the future. So I'm saying all of that to say that there are times where we go through things for no reason. There
I
was no
agree.
justification
Absolutely.
for why I
Absolutely.
should have had to been in that court
Absolutely.
defending myself.
Absolutely, bro.
And I think I asked the judge, or my attorney asked the judge, if I said, so you mean to tell me that I could go outside of this courtroom right now and follow somebody, say that they did something, that they cut in front of me, and I could call the police, and they would come and give them a breathalyzer and everything
Yes.
that they took me through.
Yes.
There's no way in the world that was
Yes.
going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Those are the things that I'm talking about, and I get it. Like I said, the dudes that are doing wrong, they're doing wrong. They deserve to be held accountable. They deserve to get to jail. They get what they get. But there are us. There are those of us that have had encounters for no reason,
Absolutely,
just because
bro.
they feel that they can treat us any kind of way
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that they treat us.
Absolutely.
That's real.
Absolutely.
So that's why people got upset about George Floyd. That's why people were hollering and screaming about OJ. Be so happy about him getting off. It had nothing to do with whether he did it or not.
Right.
They just wanted to see a black man get off
Right.
for being
Right,
accused.
bro. Right. Without
You know
question.
what I'm saying?
Without question.
So those are factors that go into, like you said, the balance that we have to have, that
Yes,
we
sir.
talk about every man, and what
Yes,
we
sir.
fight for.
Yes, sir.
The things that we fight for, man. So yeah, bro, it's a tough
It is.
it's a tough thing that we try to fight against.
It
And
is.
you know, we do it with everything that we do.
Keyshawn
But yeah,
said, "We have to stand up for our people, Dad. My criminal activities should be punishable by jail time, not by death. I shouldn't be afraid with any interaction with police. A simple traffic stop could be your
should not
last.
lead to death.
I
Yeah,
ran the light, cool, but I still want to get home to my kids."
right.
Absolutely right. But did you also know that a part of this conversation, Leroy, that we have to have with media is
Hmm.
that and the fact that oftentimes when we're looking at media specific channels that are leaning toward one direction or
Way or
another,
later.
right?
Absolutely.
Because I
Absolutely.
will tell you from friends of mine who are police officers that are black, they also tell me, "Hey, Donald, Dr. Morton, do you know the most dangerous stop for us? There are two. There is danger for us with domestic situations, and
Hmm.
there's danger for us with traffic stops. So we are on hyper alert when we stop a car because that's why you'll see, he told me this too, that when they approach your car from the rear, they'll put their thumb print on the car to let
Hmm.
them know, to let people know I was here. I was the officer
At that spot, right?
at that spot, right? So Key, I agree with you when you say that I shouldn't have, I shouldn't be afraid with any interaction with police. A lot of our fear comes from what we see on TV,
Hmm.
right? And so we become hyper vigilant because of what we see on television. This is the other thing that I was able to do. I taught or lectured to a couple of police academies, and I talked to them about this thing called bracketing. How do I suspend um, my perceived ideas about you in an effort to really engage you? So I don't want to see you as a black man. I don't want to see you as a criminal. I want to see you as a human. How can I
Hmm.
how can I do that? Right. So I talked to them about that. And if this is where you and I disagree, Key. If a black man, now what Leroy just said, there's no argument with that. He says, "Look, I was treated unfairly. The scenario he just gave, absolutely unfair and unequal, without question." I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when we are stopped, we're combative, we get out, we fight, all those kinds of things, right? Um, that there are two things happening in that moment, Leroy. And if y'all allow us to, y'all can log off when you really want to. But I gotta get these points out because I think they're important. I don't want to just leave the conversation hanging like this,
Right.
right? Um, there are a couple of things that happen when I get out and I got a piece, so I'm combative or I'm fighting, right? All those kinds of things. Yeah, I might lose my life. I might. I might, right? Because there's some of it that I'm initiating. Now, I'm not talking about um the and I may watch that today too. Oscar in Cali, Leroy, the boy that was killed by the police and on the train off of the
Oh yeah, yeah. About the Fruitvale station.
Fruitvale station,
Yeah, I can't
right?
remember the young man's name, but yeah,
Right. So those
yeah,
are
Michael.
those are the kinds of things that we see often over and over again on replay, right? On media stations. But what we don't see is officers being gunned down, right? They are and the videos that they get a chance to see during training. And we don't see and hear the conversations that are being held by police officers when they're encountering criminals, whether that criminal is white, black, doesn't matter to me, right? So what happens is a part of the conversation, Leroy, you and I have to have with our brothers. And I ask God, a part of the conversation that we have to have with our brothers is whenever you get out and you are combative or you're fighting police or whatever the case may be, you going for police gun, you carrying all that, and you firing at police. Yeah, I don't know, brothers, whether you realize you're making it real hard for the next black man. You're making it real hard for the next black man. And police officers that don't check one another, making it real hard for the next police officer. So even if we're not thinking about that moment, think about the next police officer. Think about the next black man. When I engage with police, I'm thinking about Keshad. I'm thinking about Leroy. I don't want to give them another thought that another black man just going to go ham and give anybody. There's never a right. Keshad is right. There's never a right. I shouldn't have these interactions with police where I'm fearful. I get it. But this real life out here happening. Keshad, as you know, because you always talk to me about that, it don't play like that in the hood. It don't play like that in the hood. He has friends that are professionals. He has friends that are on the block. He's got friends from both sides. And all I'm saying is, I think there should be accountability on both sides, right? That when we are wrong as a people, Leroy and I have the responsibility to say to brothers that are wrong, hey, my guy, you was wrong. And if they're not wrong, we have a responsibility to talk to the system and say, y'all was wrong. And there has to be accountability on both sides.
But it's more than just accountability, like you said. It's holding both sides accountable. But to me, the system. If you just mentioned a couple things with the training.
Yes.
Inside the training, you get, to me, there's a procedure that you are taught, like you talked about the thumbprint. That's
yes, sir.
one.
Yes, sir.
The way that you approach the vehicle is another thing. How it tells them. Correct me if I'm wrong. It tells them how to approach the vehicle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So no matter who it is in the vehicle,
yes, sir,
you approach it the same way. But
yes,
here's what's not happening. If they see that it's a person of a certain ethnicity, they approach the vehicle one way. If it's a person of another ethnicity, they approach it another way. So the principles have to be the same.
Agreed. 100%. I have no pushback for that. 100%. They have to be the same. And when they are not, again, that's a part of the work that I did in Delaware. Hopefully a part of the work that I'll do here, and being able to, but in being able to get this conversation to happen between law enforcement and Black communities, right? I think it's necessary. But in order to do that, you got to be unbiased with it all. And a part of the reason why I think I've been effective, at least somewhat perfected or effective, Leroy, is because I'm impartial. Like, everybody knows I'm 100% for Black people. I asked God when he asked me to start doing this work and to begin to hold Black men accountable and Black men hold me accountable. I said, why would you do that when I have fought, laid in the street, done sit-ins, cussed legislators out? He said, because no one will ever be able to deny that you love Black people. Nobody will ever be able to deny you love Black people. I'm not an Uncle Tom, whatever that is. I ain't none of that. So when people say to me, man, you a sellout, bruh, Google me. Google me. I've been doing this for longer than you are born. Google me. I'm unapologetically for Black people. And because I love us, I'm going to tell us the truth.
Yeah.
Right? If we are wrong, that's the way my mama raised me, Leroy, man. If we are wrong, my mom used to say to me, son, if you do wrong, don't lie to me. I'm the one that's got to help you. Just tell me the truth. If you're wrong, you're wrong. When I got in all that trouble cheating on my ex-wife, and I called my spiritual father, I say, Dad, this is what they be saying. This is what they've been saying. He said, did you do it?
Yep. That's the bottom line.
Bottom line, did you do it? Did you do it? And if you did it, stand up like a man, own your responsibility, repent so we can move on with your life, Don. So all I'm saying is I want every Black man to know, hey, bro, I love you. I respect you. I love you enough. There's a scripture, Leroy. I ain't going to turn this into a Bible study, but let me tell you the scripture. There's a scripture where one of the writers says, "Am I your enemy because I tell you the truth?"
Mm-hmm.
I can't be you can't love me when I'm on your side and not love me when I don't agree with you. Leroy and I, you just saw how you do it. Leroy give his perspective, I give mine. We're both impassioned about our perspectives. And at the end of the day, we take the hoodies off. I tell him I love him. He tell me he loved me. And we live to fight another day. We're going to fight tomorrow. We're going to fight off camera because it's what we do. I learn from him. He learns from me. We grow together. We don't throw each other away because we have differing perspectives. And all I'm saying is, if you commit a crime, know that there are consequences to that crime. And know that if you out here on the block, there are only a couple of outcomes to it, y'all. There are only a couple outcomes to it. I've been around a minute. I got gray in my beard for a reason. I've been at it. I'm telling you, there are two outcomes. You're going to get locked up or you're going to have a tag on your toe. Either you walk away, you get carried away, you get locked away. That's been my message for years. Locked away, carried away, or locked away, carried away, or you can walk away from it. Keisha said, y'all have awesome conversations. I done missed an hour of work. but I love it. Please allow me on with you guys one day. Absolutely, bro. We would love to have you on, man. Absolutely.
I think
those are the only outcomes. Leroy, last comments, and then we out of here, man.
Yeah, because I know we got to go. But here's the thing, and I think that what people get passionate about or get upset about is what you talked about, the accountability issue.
Yes, sir.
Because there seems to be this unleveled accountability. Hey, you wanna hold us accountable. You mentioned it. You want to hold us accountable, but yet you won't hold yourself accountable.
Absolutely.
You can treat us one way in the system, and they, know, the dudes that are doing wrong, they get treated differently than someone from another community who does the same thing.
Yes.
And does the same thing, and they get a slap on the wrist or they get treated differently. I think that's what most people are upset about. Hey, if you're going to treat everybody like that across the board, we ain't got a problem with it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, illegal is illegal. If you ain't supposed to be doing drugs, you're supposed to be doing drugs. Period. Lock them all. Lock all those that's doing that up. Period.
Yes, sir.
But do it equally. We know the statistics on certain certain things that happen. We can see one gets 5 years or whatever.
Yes,
the other one gets life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Those are the things that I think that people are talking about.
Yes, sir.
Because in both instances, it's not right.
Yes, sir. So
I think that's where, to me, that's where the emotions gets into it, and the mistreatment of every of us.
Agreed.
And how they do. I don't think, like I said, I don't think there's anybody that'll disagree with us about, hey, those that are doing illegal activities, yeah, you need to be locked up just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Don't think that we every man gonna fight for you because you doing something illegal. No, that's not gonna happen. Because the first thing we're gonna ask, just like Chadwick Boseman did in Marshall, did you do it?
Did you do it?
Then we know how to approach the situation if you did do it.
And we still love you. I love every black man. I love every black man. Every black man I love. I love you. But I don't respect what you're doing. It's our people that are dying. So I don't care whether it's a white man that pulled the trigger or a black man that pulled the trigger. You pull the trigger, you kill somebody in our community that has potential to be great. I got problems with you. So let's take the hoodies down, man. This has been such.
Yeah, this was a deep one, bro.
This was a deep one. Why was it a deep one, Leroy? Because this is the Grown Man Podcast. This is the Grown Man Podcast. This is what we do. This is how we roll. Leroy, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for helping me grow today. I always grow during these conversations. I always get a chance to look at the flaws in my arguments and the things that I've believed. And sometimes I anchor. Sometimes the
Absolutely.
conversations affirm and confirm what I believe, and sometimes, like, Donald, you need to take another look at that, right? So I want to thank you all for being a part of today's conversation. If you have not gotten your copy of the Remand book, I don't know what's wrong with you. You love God. You don't love God.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong? What's wrong with you? Get your copy of the Remand book. A lot of our conversation today comes out of a chapter in the book written by Cedric Nelms, which he talks about the power of engaging in community. He is one of the authors of the Remand book. Guess who else is one of the authors of the Remand book? Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. is also one of the authors of the Remand book. There are other authors in this book other than me. And so I'm absolutely grateful. Get your copy of the Remand book by going to www.theremandbook.com. Also, June the 1st, 2024, here in Atlanta, Georgia, Chocolate City. We are going to have
City #2.
Chocolate City, your Chocolate City #1, right? In
No,
DC?
Washington D.C. D.C. is
DC, yeah,
Chocolate
yeah,
City. That's
DC.
the original Chocolate
Yeah,
City. Yeah, you gotta
that's the
get in there
original
credit.
Chocolate City. Mayor, what's my man's name? No, I don't want to talk about it.
That's Mayor for life. That's Mayor. What is it? Mayor. Oh,
Daly? No, no,
nah,
no, no,
not
not
Mayor.
Daly.
Oh my gosh, I can't. And I got his face. I just can't think of his name.
Yeah,
It escapes me right now. But
yeah. So I need y'all to get your tickets. $149 is a ticket to
Marion Barry. That's it. Marion Barry.
Marion Barry.
Marion Barry.
Barry,
That's it. I knew it.
Mayor for life.
Mayor for life. Marion Barry. Yeah.
So I want you to get your tickets. Fly here to Atlanta. Keishad, you got to be here, man. Crystal, you got to be here. Dwight, you got to be here. Everybody, you got to be here. June the 1st. It is Remand Day in Delaware, but we're also here in Atlanta, and we got a great gala planned, Leroy. Just a great gala planned.
I'm excited already about that,
Yeah,
man. That's gonna be
yeah.
awesome.
It will be held at the Legacy Center. I don't even know where the Legacy Center is.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
in
if I don't
Metro
think
Atlanta.
yeah, I know it's in the Atlanta area. I can't think of it's not Stone. I don't think it's Stonecrest. Is that in Stonecrest?
It might be in Stonecrest.
Hey, I'm not sure if it's Stonecrest, but don't forget to mention too, bro. Before
You can talk about it.
no, this is the last thing about your challenge that you have going on this week.
Oh yeah.
Community, man. I want you to mention because that was phenomenal last night, man.
Woo, bruh.
That was
So we have a
phenomenal.
5-day challenge, the Pinnacle Pursuit 5-day challenge to peak performance. And it is, believe it or not, founded in the Remand book. Everything that we'll be doing this week challenges you to be better. And I hear, if those of y'all that want to pray, I hear that Remand University will be open, may be opened at the end of the week. So you get a chance
How
to
do
join
rooms
Remand
get started?
University. Huh?
I said, how do rooms get started?
Yeah, how do rumors get started? So if you've been looking for a way to work with us, the Remand University is a great way to work with us. But the challenge is going to be, the challenge has been phenomenal. Tonight we're working on day number 2. Night number 2, breaking barriers. We're going to help you to interrupt patterns and to disrupt behaviors. Break these cycles so that you can master life, leadership, and legacy. It's going to be phenomenal. So see you tonight inside the Remand community. Those that want to be a part of it, you got to join the Remand community right here on Facebook. If you are a woman, if you do not have an Adam's apple, then you can y'all hear me? If you're a woman, you do not have an Adam's apple. Check the net. Check. Leroy, check the net. Right. If you want to be a part of the challenge, you have to join the community. Go to the Remand community, the Mecca for Black Male Mastery. Go there, join the community, be a part of the challenge. There are giveaways happening, cash being given away, merch being given away. Yeah, it's a phenomenal time. So those are the three things that we've got going on right now. The Remand book, June 1st is the gala. And then right now we are in the middle, we're at the beginning of the 5-day challenge to peak performance. We'll see you there. Leroy, love and respect you, black man.
Love and respect you, bro. Right back.
Talk
at
to
you.
y'all. Peace.
Later.